Steve Harvey can only take so much. Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Family Feud answers that made Steve Harvey lose it.
That's the occupant person that's there.
That means we're looking at various answers that made Steve Harvey crack up, clap back, walk off stage, or stare into space in abject shock. All right, let's get to the list. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
We fell in love over the phone, across the ocean, in different time zones, infatuated by a barbarian from Algeria. Names
Number 10, his hoe? It's not just Jeopardy that has a famous hoe answer. Turns out Family Feud got in on the action as well. The survey question was, name something a farmer's wife might accuse him of caring more about than her. Rob answered farm equipment, and when asked to get more specific, he hesitatingly answered his hoe.
More specific.
Is hoe?
This causes Steve to raise his eyebrows and laugh in amusement before stating that he couldn't have written a better joke. It's just that we don't think Rob was telling a joke. But hey, even if you unintentionally make the host laugh, take the win where you can get it.
I kid you not. I couldn't have wrote a joke better than that.
Number 9, hummy. The greatest thing about Family Feud is that you truly never know what you're gonna hear. Sometimes the answers aren't even words. During this face-off podium round, the men were told to give Steve a word that rhymes with yummy. Gary is quick to buzz in and answer with the wonderfully hilarious and nonsensical
Hummy.
Is that like slang for a Hummer or something? Gary knows it's a garbage answer, as he immediately grins and bursts out in laughter. This causes an already bemused Steve to break and laugh as well, and he ends up leaning on the podium for support. To no one's surprise, hummy was not on the board.
Hummy. Oh, man. Hummy.
Number 8, never cheat again. This face-off podium round saw the contestants saying what they will never do again. Scott had an answer ready in the chamber and was quick to buzz in with
Cheat.
Steve repeats the answer before breaking out in a very delayed laugh, with the realization of what Scott has said finally hitting him.
Cheat.
He proceeds to grab Scott and tell him that it was the dumbest answer he could have possibly given. This statement has some merit as the camera cuts to Christine, who we assume is Scott's wife, and she doesn't look very impressed. Yeah, she's laughing, but it looks like one of those fake and polite smiles you put on to avoid embarrassment.
That's the dumbest thing you could have said. What are you, an idiot?
Number 7, gently playing with chicken eggs. Yes, this is as horribly awkward as it sounds. Comedian Eugene Cordero was asked to name something a farmer's wife likes to watch him do because it turns her on. He answered with one of the most ridiculous answers in Family Feud history.
Gently play with some chicken eggs?
It's such a nonsense answer that the audience remains dead silent, and his family doesn't give the typical good answer response. He proceeds to act out what gently playing with chicken eggs looks like, and it is quite the sight. But it's not like his team is any better. John, who's standing beside Eugene, told Steve that you can use a squirrel as toilet paper, causing Steve to walk off the stage in hysterics. Number 6, teeny package. Who knew a simple question about a man's weenie could cause so much trouble? The podium question asked what a man would do if he found out that his ex-wife was telling people about his small package. What follows is a slew of off-kilter and sometimes offensive answers, which include sue her, divorce, no kids visitation, and an exhortation to violence.
Kill her.
With that one, well, and the no visitation one, prompting Steve to hit back with some pointed mocking.
Now, you can't see your kids because you got a teeny weenie?
By the end, Steve is leaning on the podium in clear exasperation, each answer getting a more bemused and perplexed expression. The relay finally ends with Sid, who scores the top answer with "let everyone know she's lying." You can practically hear Steve saying, "finally."
Let everybody know she lying.
Number 5, he's white. Family Feud is at its funniest when families are trying to get the lowest ranked answer. It's when the desperation sets in and the wild answers start flying, and we get utter gems like this. Bill was asked to name something that a man and the Pillsbury Doughboy have in common. You can practically see Bill's gears spinning before he laughs in exasperation and answers,
He's white.
This results in one of Steve's most animated reactions, as he laughs and throws the cards away as he walks off stage. Granted, he does seem to respect the answer itself, telling the audience that he loves real answers.
I love real answers, man.
Real answer or not, it wasn't on the board. What a surprise.
I'm gonna go with he's white.
Come on.
Number 4, you pine. It really doesn't get much funnier or more ridiculous than this answer. The question itself is to name something that follows the word pork. Will gives arguably the greatest answer in Family Feud history with
You pine.
Steve can only stare at the audience in complete disbelief before launching into a tirade that includes fake punching Will for his stupid answer and claiming that the video will be #1 on YouTube.
It's gonna be #1 on YouTube, but
He also raises his hands in a victory pose and claims that it is the greatest answer he's ever heard. And we have to agree. We don't know if it's utter nonsense or oddly intelligent, but either way, it's very, very funny.
this is the greatest answer I've ever heard.
Number 3, the house of all the strangers and children is grown. And before you ask, no, we don't know what the house of all the strangers and children is grown means. When Steve asks Rosa to give him something around the house that she empties, Rosa embarks on one of the longest, strangest, and most incoherent answers Steve has ever heard.
Something around the house that you empty is
Yes,
going to be the house of all the strangers and children is grown. We're going to empty the house out.
We think she meant something along the lines of kicking your fully grown children out of the house, but we're not really sure, and neither is Steve. He can only laugh, walk off stage, and bang on a piece of the set in amusement. He then walks back over to Rosa and jokes that she pulled random answers from her mind and threw them all together in one incomprehensible mess.
I don't know which one of these good answers to give you, so I'm just gonna give you all of them.
Number 2, Naked Grandma. Naked Grandma is another Family Feud classic, and it results in an even more expressive reaction from Steve, and not necessarily in a good way. When asked to name something a burglar would not want to see while breaking in, Rob chimes in and screams,
Rob.
Naked grandma!
Steve is only halfway through repeating the answer when he slams the card to the podium and grimaces in disappointment. He seems genuinely upset by this ridiculous answer. But things get even worse when occupant turns out to be the second answer on the board. It's the stretch to end all stretches, and Steve rightly calls the judges out on their decision to award it. I like to think that if I were ever on a game show, I would do better than this, but I would probably freeze up and just say what's already on the board too. Anyway, so before we keel over laughing at our #1 pick, let's look through some also hilarious honorable mentions, and then we'll find out the #1 moment that made Steve Harvey lose his damn mind.
I wish my wife's bottoms looked like whose.
Myself.
Name a place where you might be caught with your pants down.
Outdoors in the shed.
Jim, name something people run across their lips. Gravy. Name something a carjacker would hate to find in the car he just stole.
It's tough, Steve. Yeah. A snake?
Name something specific you put on when you want to feel sex.
How about tank top? Show off his muscles.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Mommy, Mama, Nanny, Nana. The question is simple. Name another way that people say mother. However, the Patterson family just could not get with it. After getting 2 immediate strikes, the baton is passed to Sheila, and all hell breaks loose.
Nana?
Didn't you say Nana?
I did say
I
that,
said
Steve, yes.
Nana.
She answers Nana and Mommy, both of which had already been said. She then proceeds to give different pronunciations of the same answers, and we watch as Steve slowly loses his mind.
What about mommy?
In the end, Sheila has multiple hilarious cracks at the answer. Steve basically goes insane and leads the audience in a mocking sing-along, and the Patterson family gets their 3rd and final X. It's complete pandemonium, and we love every single second of it.
Mama,
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.